Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary.
Show is
10 episodes. I don't know what the 10th anniversary is. I don't know what you get. I get you a seltzer.
You give me something.
You got me a seltzer.
Per
That's what's
usual.
up. Yay. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Into the West Comics, episode X.
Yeah, let's do it.
My name is Frank. I'm here with Sonny, and via a remote location, undisclosed location, please welcome Robert.
Yay.
Hey.
What it do? There he is.
What's up, everybody? What's up? From a remote location. I love that.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Thank you for taking some time to spend quality time with us. Robert.
Episode X. Episode X.
Yeah, dude. I'm stoked. It's crazy. From 1 to 10. It's a completely different show.
We've come so far.
I agree.
Yeah. Rob, we wanted to talk to you really quick about some stuff that you've been checking out, some stuff you picked up. I picked up some new books yesterday as well. Sonny and I have gone over some new reads for the last 24 hours or so. What's some stuff that stuck out to you yesterday?
Stuff that stuck out to me. So it was funny because yesterday was a pretty big day, I feel like. I don't know about you when you picked up your stuff, but they were even saying at the shop, they were like, yeah, today it like came out of nowhere because there were so many comics coming out. Mm-hmm. And then next week is also another huge week for like people to pick stuff up. So I don't know how many books you picked up, Frank, but I picked up more than I should have. So
yeah, same.
But we got a few big ones, a few big key ones that we want to talk about. Something's coming to Children 11.
Absolutely.
Come on. The follow-up to the crazy ending of episode 10. Batman 101, the follow-up to the finale of Joker War. Mm-hmm. We got Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn, the follow-up to Sean Murphy's whole White Knight arc that he did.
Yep.
And then also we got a huge King Robin one and 2 Ten of Swords. I mean,
it's a lot.
That's so many books.
Yeah, it's a big week.
So let's chat about three of them, because I'm going to pass by kind of Robin King because you guys didn't read that one.
Yeah.
But it was great art by Riley Rossimo, I think. Mm-hmm. Yes, Riley Rossimo. Great art, great story. It gives a lot of details into like Robin King because he's a lot different than these crows that follow the Batman Who Laughs Around. Mm-hmm. And it gives you a little bit of context on that. So read it and tell me what you think. Okay. But you guys didn't like the ending to Joker War. So what did you think of Batman 101, the one following Joker War?
I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like our surprise guest. Grifter's sick. It's a lot. I think it's a lot more, I guess, than I thought it was going to be. I thought Batman was kind of just going to be chilling back and trying to gather himself after everything.
Right. I think they added a lot of context for going forward. There's a added dynamic with him and Lucius Fox because now he's without his finances.
Right.
And it sounds like he's going to be at least what he was telling Catwoman is that he's going to be moving out of Wayne Manor into the city. And, you know, Gotham is changing kind of around them. And like I guess it's like a couple of weeks have passed since Batman 100 has ended, I guess, in the timeline. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do going forward in like kind of into this next arc. It felt like this episode was kind of like a reset and a breather for whatever they're going to take it into.
Yeah.
Because we know that Ghostmaker is going to be coming like starting next issue.
I was going to mention that because I thought the two cool things that I liked were at the very beginning. There's that page where you see Batman and Robin kind of flying across in really old school fashion.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like a Jim Lee cover spread of them flying across. And there was like multiple callbacks on that. So it's almost like you flash back because he had Gordon showing him the Joker card. And then he had him and Alfred, who we know Alfred's not there anymore, with him. So that was cool. But then I liked that we didn't see much Punchline. We didn't see much Clown Hunter. We didn't see much Ghostmaker at all, but we're going to see him next episode. We didn't see any of these new characters. And I thought that was cool because it's like, it's putting it back into context of the Batman that we know, getting us ready for the arc that's about to come. Because if it goes the way that Tynion's writing it, Gotham and Batman are going to look very different moving forward. We could, from what I was understanding in it, we could even see a Batman who could potentially start harming people or killing people. But I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know if Tinian's going to go that far. I mean, he is a horror writer, so we could get that kind of horror aspect of Batman coming through.
I think it's very possible.
I like it.
We could be going in that direction. I mean, we don't know how much longer Tinian's going to be writing Batman. I don't think they're going to be switching writers again without doing a total kind of relaunch with Batman. And this Batman always has to be kind of like the moneymaker. It's got to be like a tentpole franchise for DC Comics as a publisher. So we'll have to see what happens with that going forward. Kind of transitioning to more Tinian stuff. Something is killing the children. A great follow-up. It's like every issue is like outdoing the last one. You know. And what did you think of this story that they're starting?
Oh my gosh! So I felt like this issue 11, like started a whole new like opening of a different box of his story for this Something's Killing the Children, because we get all that backstory of I think they're called House of Slaughter. I don't know if that's the full name of all of them.
Right.
But we get we get 3 new characters essentially, right? We get the old dragon who has a dope mask that like splits when he eats, which is sick. It's got like the thing going up.
And I don't know if he's eating caterpillars or gummy worms or something in that scene. I don't know what was happening there.
They were like the same color as the spectral thing connected to his teddy bear. So were those even like real gummy whatever? Like, were those even real? So but weird. He's got that teddy bear that is so cool. But the other 2 characters, one of them we didn't see, which was in Black Room, right? They had the black and the white room,
right? And
this girl that's going to go after Erica and clean up Archer's Peak supposedly is in the white room. She's got her people with the white mask, black teeth, super cool. But you see Erica and Aaron, the guy who died, had black masks. So we can assume that they came from the Black Room.
Right.
And I'm interested to see if there is still more people in that Black Room that are still part of Erica's tribe almost, or if they've all gone out in the field and now Erica and Aaron might have been the like last 2 of them. Because the way they talk about Erica is that they're cleaning up a mess with her.
Right.
Right.
Ooh.
So I have like, I don't know where it's going, but like just the introduction to the House of Slaughter to me is like, that's a whole nother aspect of the story that we haven't covered yet, which will give us Erica backstory, but also give us backstory on why these people see these monsters and what these things are in their stuffed animals.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't notice if any of the people in the White Room had stuffed animals. I didn't see any in those panels.
I didn't notice that.
I don't know what it is. So far, only the old dragon and Erica have had stuffed animals.
I think that there's something besides the fact that they have the stuffed animals and there's a different color coding to the masks. Something else. There's a factor between these groups.
Yeah, there's like a ranking.
Something else is going on, like a ranking system or something that is going on just besides those physical things that are sticking out to us.
Only
there's another factor.
Once you like level up to get your white mask, you don't need your stuffed animal character or whatever to kind of like be around or whatever. Something. There's definitely a hierarchy.
Yes, but that's interesting because the old dragon, who from what we can tell is the head, he has one.
Right. So maybe it's just like a different class, or it's just like a separate like something inside the level.
Their hierarchy.
I wonder
it's a hierarchy.
I wonder if Erica is potentially related to him, blood related, not just house related, because he kept calling her young Erica. They always mentioned her as young Erica, which makes me feel like there's a whole daughter aspect going on in some way or some family connection.
Could be. That's a pretty cool connection.
Well, I mean, we're gonna find out because this story has been crazy so far. For me, it's been like the book of the year. I mean, as far as what I've been reading, I'm assuming Rob is kind of on that same page with it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, so then
one of the other things I love about this though is that every single intro to those books is like a new story of a monster catching somebody.
Yeah.
And the story at the beginning where this kid is running away from this monster and the monster leaves him and his dad.
Yep.
I was like, why did this monster leave them? Why did he like leave them there? So I'm interested to see if he comes back to that.
Are they in Archer's Peak?
True.
Is that kid?
Could be a completely
were they in there? Yeah. There's another book that we wanted to talk about that came out yesterday that's been getting a lot of hype.
I don't know if it's this one that I'm holding up.
That's it. That's the one. Oh my gosh, Harley Quinn. This whole White Knight universe has been expanded a little bit. It's set 2 years after the last White Knight miniseries.
Okay.
That was the Azrael miniseries, I believe.
I believe it was Curse of the White Knight.
Curse of the White Knight. Yeah, it's like Azrael plays a big part in it. But yeah.
Yep.
What did you think?
I thought it was really good. I don't think I read the Curse of the White Knight one, but I did collect all the issues, so I'm going to go back and read that now that this is out.
Nice.
But I did read the first one, and I don't know if this is true. Was the first one the first Black Label book that came out?
It was the first or second. Yeah, it was the first or second.
And Batman Damned, right?
They came out around the same time.
Yes. So this is like, for me, I really like this because it's kind of like one of the staples to me in the DC's Black Label. But I think one of the cool things about this is it's a completely different Gotham than we've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you've got Batman in jail, you've got Joker who's dead, you've got supervillains who are kind of wiped out. Like they're talking about no supervillains there, which I think happened in Curse of the White Knight.
Yeah.
And then you got Harley Quinn who's taking the main role. She's got twins who are the Joker's kids.
So
and
wild.
she's taking a role as like a superhero / detective.
Yeah.
Like I
so
think
weird,
that's
dude. So
the things
crazy.
I loved about the White Knight was it was a new portrayal of the Joker in his first series, and this is a completely new portrayal of Harley Quinn.
And
it's like mom detective.
And it's in that vibe of a detective story.
Right.
And they're investigating these older actresses and actors that are being murdered. I think they're going to go into it a little bit more in the second issue.
Yeah.
That I think they're painted black and white because they were on like the silver screen, like they were in black and white films.
Yep.
And I think that once they're murdered, they're painted in black and white.
That's pretty interesting.
It's kind of crazy, and I like this. I love the role for Harley Quinn of being a detective, and kind of like she's visiting. You mentioned the Batman being in jail. She's visiting Batman as sort of like a sounding board to get advice.
Right. It's interesting.
It's a really cool story so far.
You see a lot of times the Harley and like Batman either go head to head or they're kind of working together, and she's kind of being like, oh, how do I like do this detective stuff? And like he kind of makes fun of her, and the comics make fun of her a lot. And now she's taking this front row seat for being a detective, and she's still got her 2 hyenas, which is great. I love that.
It's still Harley Quinn.
The way Sean Murphy's writing is great.
He's good. I really like the artwork. I mean, the first 2 miniseries have been really good, and I'm sure that this is going to be, equally as good. They're kind of expanding on this universe. They're supposed to do either a one-shot or a miniseries with Deathstroke.
Sick.
And they want to do one with, I think, Nightwing.
Ooh.
So I mean, I'm going to buy any of these and read them. I mean, I really enjoy them.
He's already got one shot with Freeze, Mr. Freeze.
That's right.
After the Curse of the White Knight,
That's right.
He put out that Mr. Freeze one shot.
Yeah, cool. It's been really good. Rob, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk about the stuff you read. You're not here. You're not here in this seat, but you are here with us, and you're in here, buddy.
He pulled the chair over super close.
I mean,
I pulled the chair close to me. This is where Rob would be.
I'm sitting here at my house upstairs while my wife is making garlic knots. So I'd honestly kind of rather be here eating garlic knots than sitting in that seat.
Jealous.
Yeah, we don't have any garlic knots.
No.
All right. Rob, we'll talk to you soon.
Later, buddy.
All right. Peace out, guys.
See ya. Well, right on the heels of that, I wanted to mention real quick, if you haven't read those other miniseries that are Sean Gordon Murphy, those 2 miniseries, they're great.
Okay,
they're great. I'm gonna get them for you. I'll bring them in for you. You can check them out. There's 2 miniseries, like 6 issues each, something like that. But they're really good, and they really do reinvent the whole Gotham City.
It's just like a completely different thing. It sounds like.
Yeah, they make Joker an anti-hero. I mean, it's really cool.
I'm into it.
It's a really cool story, and like you mentioned about Azrael, kind of, well, a lot of the different Gotham villains that we've known over the years, being targeted and kind of cleaned out.
Right.
It's crazy. Wanted to mention one thing real quick. Last week we had a giveaway. We were doing a giveaway for someone to comment and like and subscribe. He's already been subscribed. He's been kind of like a day oneer for us.
Definitely.
But shout out to Marcel, who won this Deceased Dead Planet variant cover of Dead Planet Deceased #1, the Peach Momoko cover with that zombified Poison Ivy there on the cover. We've got that for you.
Shout out to Marcel, man.
I'll bring it to you when I see you. I held on to it because I needed to put it on camera.
Oh, that's why.
I saw him yesterday. I should have just given it to him, but I didn't.
Make proof.
Yeah, proof. You won. Now we have it on video, so you won. It's official. So we kind of wanted to get into some things, a hypothetical. This year has been kind of like a big stale fart. So, a lot of things haven't happened this year that we were expecting to have happened.
A lot of movies were supposed to come out. A lot of TV shows should have been out by now. It's kind of a flip on the head. I think with things getting pushed back, now we're getting WandaVision first instead of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think of how things are moving around?
So then this will be the first year. I think we've talked about this before, and we touched on it a few weeks ago, that this is the first year that there won't be an MCU film in 11 years.
That's crazy to think about.
Because it's like we've always been thinking like, well, what's the Marvel movie I'm going to see, or what's the 2 or 3 Marvel movies I'm going to see this year?
Right.
And we're not going to get one this year.
No.
So I wanted to kind of say, let's jump into the what if machine, or hypothetical what if this had happened.
Yes.
What if we had these movies that had came out? I'm just going to talk about the 3 big comic book films in particular.
Right. If they have to be comic book
yes.
movies. Okay.
Well, we can mention that, Tenet did come out.
Should have been a lot bigger.
It should have had a lot bigger release. And then we had, the James Bond movie was obviously delayed. I think that would have been a real big one.
That would have been huge.
That would have been coming out next month. I think I think that was supposed to be released like mid-November.
Okay.
Out of Eternals and Black Widow and Wonder Woman, that had multiple delays. All 3 of these movies have now been pushed all around. We don't even know if Black Widow's going to be in a theater. It might be streaming like pretty soon. We might be going the Ploos. We might be going Ploos route fairly soon. Of those 3 movies, what were you most hyped to see? What do you think would have been the most successful of the 3 films?
Hyped to see, I think Eternals. It's going to show a huge door opening to everything else that was before all the Marvel movies we were watching. I like the cast. The cast is stacked.
Yeah.
I think Black Widow would have done huge. It would have been huge if it was actually in theaters. I think Eternals, hands down, for my vote, for sure.
I kind of agree with you. I really wasn't that. I'm gonna see Black Widow because I'm a comic book person, and
it's homework at this point.
That's it. I got to do my research,
right?
And watch it like 3 times opening weekend.
Exactly.
Even if it's not good. I want to see. I wanted to see Eternals. I mean, that's the movie that I'm looking forward to the most of the 3. I want to see more of whatever we're gonna see in this space and technology, and however we're expanding the outside of Earth scope of what we're going to turn this universe into. I'm interested in seeing these characters, and like you said, the cast is ridiculous. I mean, Angelina Jolie.
We got Jon Snow. There's, I think, I'm trying to think of, because did you watch Silicon Valley?
I've seen it before, yeah.
The homie on there got super jacked.
Oh, Kamali, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna look him up.
He's playing a Bollywood superstar. So all the Eternals were supposed to, come to Earth and like lay super low, have humble lives because of their lineage of all that.
Kamal Nanjiani, that's his name, yeah.
To stay kind of low key, and he becomes a Bollywood mega star and is living the super life. I was reading this.
Yeah, but then there's 2 Starks. Because Richard Madden is in it too. Kit Harington and Richard Madden are in it. Salma Hayek, the girl who's deaf on Walking Dead is in it.
Yeah. Stacked cast.
It is. the one of the guys from that. I'm trying to think of what the Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I watched this.
Barry Keogh is from there, is on there too.
Okay.
So the cast is ridiculous. It's really cool because Marvel has to keep casting all these main characters and these feature characters and these teams, and it's like you're running out of actors, and then you keep having these roles that have to be filled because there's so many films.
See, but they're not though, because this is the King the Conqueror. Lovecraft Country did amazing, and he got casted.
Still haven't watched it.
Come on now.
I know.
He gets casted. You just got to have that role and be like that breakout star or whatever of that moment. I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the Watchmen continuity gets casted into a Marvel movie.
I think it's a matter of time.
I think for me, the biggest question I've been asking myself for the longest time, because we do know Keanu Reeves is going to be a part of the MCU.
We just don't know in what capacity. We don't know what role he's going to play.
What if you use me and my buddy, shout out to my buddy Johnny. We used to live together as my old roommate.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go back and forth like all night just trying to go who's going to be casted as who should be casted as who. And when Keanu Reeves was a topic, I was thinking you got to use somebody that his voice would be used forever. You can you can CGI his face because he doesn't have to be old, young, or whatever.
Right.
You want Keanu Reeves' voice. What if in all this new stuff that's coming out, he becomes Silver Surfer?
I thought you were gonna say Silver Surfer, and I was like, I wonder if he's gonna say Silver. Yeah,
because
Silver
that would
Surfer would be great.
Sick. I mean, you can use like the the
and
CGI
again,
face.
like you're saying, it's the voice. Like people were saying, like Bradley Cooper's gonna be Rocket Raccoon. It's like that's so weird.
Right.
And then women are like, I want to see Bradley Cooper on screen.
Right. And
I don't want to see him as a little rat or rabbit, as what Thor would call him.
Yes.
I think that Keanu Reeves would be great in that role.
Right.
Yeah, he would be really good. And like you're saying, the voice is like something that people would like
instantly catch on to.
Yeah, they'd be drawn to that. And I think that he has enough of a reputation not only in Hollywood, but I mean just as playing characters in like sci-fi and pop culture otherwise.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right away. As soon as they announce that, people will be like, "Whoa!"
He's a main part of this video game coming out, Cyberpunk 2077,
mm-hmm.
and they got like it's crazy how they could do games nowadays. They have his whole CG. I mean, they probably did the whole all
like the motion capture stuff.
Mocap, that's what it is. He has like a robotic arm and everything, but he's just like a main part of this new game. So imagine you need to hear, all right, that's like a Fantastic Four 2 trailer. And they're talking about Galactus, and it just shows space, and all you see is like the Silver Surfer kind of go by, and you just hear Keanu Reeves' voice. You would automatically connect it and know that this is going to be huge. I would love to see this in a movie theater, and just hearing people roar over a trailer.
Okay, but what I think that they really need to try to do is keep some type of secrecy. They know that they have him in a holding deal, and they know that he's going to be used in some capacity.
Just put the voice out?
Just have him make an appearance and speak, and then people are like, "Was that Keanu Reeves?" Like have him starting to figure like, I think that was Keanu Reeves.
Right.
It sounded like him.
Right.
So you create some actual like anticipation to when you have him talk. You kind of blow people away. That would be really cool. I'd be into that.
I'm cool with that. Dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Black Widow, of course. I'm hyped to see Wonder Woman, but everything that we've been told about what Wonder Woman is going to be, it's not going to be the restart or reset for whatever DC's cinematic universe is going to be.
No.
That sounds like it's going to be Flash.
Yeah.
And they're going to tie everything into multiverse or otherwise when they reset their stuff is going to be the Flash film.
Yeah.
So this Wonder Woman movie is just going to be...
It's just going to be an extra DC movie.
It is. And it won't really have a lot of tied in. We kind of talked a little bit off air about how the Batman film, the Pattinson movie, is going to be making references to him other characters in the DC universe.
Yeah, they're around. We got a Superman costume.
Yeah.
And then you told me there was there's
a girl in Wonder Woman costume
a
as
Wonder
well.
Woman costume, and
Yep.
you said there was some Flash stuff too. There was like a.
They have something on the wall or something. Some of the posters like half torn off.
And it was like a
and
Flash
the
logo.
Flash logo is on the poster in the back wall and like a set photo or something. So I mean, there's definitely going to be references to that. I mean, going forward. So I mean, I'm interested to see all of these films. I wish we could have seen all these films in theater, hypothetically. But I think Eternals is probably the movie I'm most excited for.
So I was gonna say, but in order, out of the three, Eternals first,
and then probably Wonder Woman, and then Black Widow.
Oh, that's interesting. I was gonna go Black Widow.
You were flip-flop that.
Yeah, I was flip-flop too. Because I think they haven't released it because there's something in that movie that they're trying to. It's like Taskmaster, somebody
in Black Widow.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see that kind of flip. I'm kind of whatever on Wonder
And it's the reason why we haven't gotten a trailer or footage of Winter Soldier and Falcon. Because
someone's in there.
someone's
Something's
in there.
different. You know what I mean? Something's going on. It's probably Old Man Cap or it's someone.
So kind of on the heels of that, we want to kind of talk about what could be happening in future state, looking ahead for what's going to be happening for all these Ploos series. WandaVision, of course, we're mentioning Falcon the Winter Soldier. Of those shows, what do you feel like you're the most interested in seeing once they actually come to fruition? Are you upset that they got flip-flopped? Would you rather wait until everything's out and then watch them in the order that they had intended?
No, I think
I'm not patient either.
Nah, dude.
No.
Whatever they release, give it to me.
Right.
I think out of the two, probably WandaVision. But if we're talking in large scale, what if how long that they're going to do that is going to be the animated series.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be loosely based off of different different movie references, but just flipped. And they're going to have multiple ones in one. So like, Loki could be worthy of the hammer, and it could be the same episode as, I don't know, I saw one where like Peter Parker has a quill and maybe Peter Parker ended up being Hawkeye.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a crazy flip.
They had one. There was a recent What If issue. It was like a one shot. All of them are one shots.
They're all one shots. Yeah.
There was one recently I saw that was what if Peter Parker was and the Punisher like kind of merged together, and I thought that's kind of an interesting angle. There's been others through the years, like they mess with like Fantastic Four lineups and those kind of things. What if Daredevil had Tony Stark's armor? All those kind of scenarios.
So
and
if this season goes well, they can do 10 seasons of just different versions of whatever. I mean, that's what the multiverse is about. You know what I mean?
And the animated thing gives them, a lot of source material.
Absolutely.
That they can kind of tweak and do 2 episodes if they want animated. But they have like a lot of different celebrity voices lined up to do these voice characters. So The Watcher
Jeffrey White
is going to be Bern Arnold. He's going to be playing Commissioner.
Bern Arnold.
He's Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman movie.
Yes, he is.
So he's got his own multiverse thing going on.
He does have a little multiverse going on because Westworld in itself
is Warner
is a whole like multiverse timeline.
That's true
thing going on.
He's already part of a multiverse.
Which that's a whole episode we can go into. Westworld was one of the most confusing things towards the end, bro. I really enjoyed it, but I think him as Commissioner Gordon is awesome. I think they picked him perfectly because narrating something, he has that voice that you're like, all right, cool. Like it's almost like a Morgan Freeman type of voice. You hear it and you're like, okay, what's this guy talking about?
Yeah, he has very calm voice,
right?
But it can also kind of give you like some tension as you're listening. It kind of builds,
right?
As he's talking,
right?
He has that quality. He's really good.
So he's going to be the Watcher, and he's going to be the one narrating
these stories.
So the intro comes in, and he's like, "Well, what if, blah blah blah."
Man,
I think the Marvel Zombies episode looks pretty cool. They released that. Peggy Carter being Captain Britain or Captain America.
Yeah.
I forget which other one that they had actually animated, but there's going to be a lot. Like a lot. So I think if this season goes well, it's going to turn into something that'll be a Disney Plus moneymaker.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody kind of has the time frame kind of mapped out for what's going to happen with Disneyland, but I mean, we're hearing. I talked to people who have like season passes and stuff for Disneyland. I know a lot of Disney nerds, and Disneyland is not supposed to reopen in California until next September.
Wow, really?
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
You can go to Florida now. Florida's wide open, baby.
No
Gators, giant bugs, some humidity.
Nah, man.
Get some Cuban food and
Cuban food. I'm okay.
head down to Orlando. Boom.
And it's extremely way more crazier than one in Cali. There's like 3 different parks in Florida.
It's huge compared to Disneyland.
So
yeah,
be cool though.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is that we have a lot of issues going forward with production and our timeline for what this. We know that Black Widow is done.
Yeah,
and they have essentially finished Eternals.
For sure, probably
it's mostly complete.
Mostly done.
Okay.
Well, because it was supposed to be out
in November.
Next month?
Next month.
Yeah.
In like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got to figure out what they're going to do pushing this stuff back timeline-wise, because they've got to put out content and they've got to make a decision before they get to next summer for what are they going to do with Black Widow. If it's going to be a streaming thing, people are going to be waiting for a year for this movie to come out.
Yeah, and then they're just
I don't know.
They're just going to put it on the Disney for $20.
Or whatever it was, like Mulan was $20, right?
So how did it work? Did you so is it like it's like an in-app purchase, I would assume.
I guess.
You
get premium access.
You get it for like a couple days because they won't let you buy it, you know what I mean?
It's like they're Disney Plus only fans. And they'll just like add on whatever.
Add on extra content.
I don't know what that is, but they added on for Disney Plus. You can watch Mulan, and my buddy said you could watch Mulan as many times as you wanted.
See, that's what I was thinking. Like, do you get to own it at that point? Is it like you bought the DVD or whatever, you digitally downloaded it, and that'd be interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know how this is going to work, because you have different platforms for where you're going to be earning money from.
Right.
You want to have video on demand. You want to have box office. That's like your biggest take. And then you want to sell DVDs. People don't really buy DVDs anymore. No. But I mean, you have DVDs, and then you're going to be putting on a streaming service. You want to hype that up too.
Right.
And there's all the marketing stuff that's tied into all these different promotions.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, let's be real here. Black Widow's a female character. There's all kinds of different things that they can tie in to having a female-led Marvel film.
That's why it was going to be so huge.
Yeah, and that's an issue potentially for them going forward if the theaters don't open, if like they're saying like Regal or AMC or Cinemark or whatever the theaters saying that they're not going to reopen until January.
That screws everything.
It shuts everything down.
That screws everything.
We have a lot of issues going forward with that. I wanted to mention also too, Jonathan. You said about Jonathan Majors playing Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, man, I'm super stoked.
And that he's signed, I guess, a multi-picture deal, but he's not confirming it. Something else happened with the girl that's going to be playing She-Hulk. Now she's backing off rumors that she was signed too. I don't know if they're trying to create some mystery to it,
some kind of buzz.
I guess.
Huh.
But we're assuming that these guys are already locked in, because he wouldn't answer the question directly when he was asked.
Right.
And now she's kind of backing off, saying that she signed. So we're hoping that it's true. I mean,
I think Kang, for those who don't know, he's a super huge, like, future type character, ruler. He's a Richards, as in Reed Richards, one of the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
They could use him for whatever villain in Ant-Man. They could use him as like a like a origin story.
Right.
And then whatever next villain crossover, and then whatever big Secret Wars movie they're planning. That's 4 movies. If he signed on for 5, sounds like he's going to be a major part.
No, he's gonna be a big piece of this.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with all this new stuff. You know, there's a lot of new characters that they're able to bring in. A lot of there was like some talk going on over like the all the Marvel guys, all the Avengers were like doing like some go vote stuff, and they mentioned like doing like a Red Hulk, and like
Oh wow.
like that would be super cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know,
because it's Ross.
right?
Yeah.
Would be really cool just to see like what characters that they could play with in
Not
in
Ross from Friends. It's Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross. It's
And
not
then
Ross.
the Thunderbolts. You know what I mean? Like there's a huge
What's happening with that? We don't know.
because that was supposed to be a project too, right?
Yep. So I mean, we have a lot of potential things happening, and this stuff being held back. I'll just give you an idea about Marvel Comics, because the Eternals film has been delayed.
So everything's
The
pushed back.
new Marvel Comics title was going to be coming out next week, and now they delayed the comic.
Trying to think of when it was supposed to come out.
The movie?
Yeah.
Next the 5th or 12th or something like that in November.
Was that it?
I think
It
so.
was like the 20th or something.
Yeah. So, and now they've pushed the comic book back. And I mean, there's this trickle down effect to however we're going to be consuming all this stuff.
Right.
And we want to see if there's going to be some more. We're hoping to see more content and more connectivity with this, because a year without, a Marvel film, we're getting a Marvel series, but we're getting it right at the end of the year.
Right.
And I'm excited to see. I think December 20th is when WandaVision is going to premiere.
Okay.
On the Ploos. So we're looking forward to that.
It's gonna be so awesome.
Let's get into some news that we've been hearing.
Okay.
New news.
New news.
And you wanted to hit it right off the bat, because we were talking about this on Saturday last week. We want to talk about new news. It's something that we've talked about, this label in particular, a couple of times.
Okay.
What did we hear about on Saturday?
We talking Joker being
Yes.
put in the Snyder Cut, but it's not just the Joker. It's
not just the Joker.
Leto's
Jared Leto's Joker. Yes.
So wasn't my favorite. The other two won awards for being the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure he probably feels some type of way. He's a little bit better.
Jared Leto, also an Academy Award winner, but he didn't win it for playing Joker.
Right. No.
Yeah.
So I was reading there's going to be more of his Joker that he was trying to portray in Suicide Squad. It was supposed to be this like groundbreaking, new version, and he was so upset that his character got portrayed differently.
That's the rumor.
So if this is going to be some new type of version of him, it would be nice. I would have liked to see, it would probably cost way too much money to get Joaquin Phoenix to do something in the Snyder Cut, but to even make that a part of anything wouldn't even be a thing, I don't think, to connect those.
Well, I hope that they save Joaquin Phoenix for a Batman sequel with Pattinson. To see those two guys on the screen at the same time would be really cool.
And it's a darker tone. It would fit Joker's movie a little bit better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it would.
But
I think that the Leto being a part of this miniseries, I don't know what you're going to call it now.
4
They're
episodes?
making it a 4-episode thing that's going to come out next September, or August or September. I think it comes out next year on HBO Max, and it'll be in 4 parts. Snyder's doing re-editing and reshoots. They're bringing him in to shoot new stuff, I believe.
Right. So he's going to have all new shots, all new scenes. They're going to dive into the character a little bit more. Do you almost feel like they're, at this point, they're just trying to do too much now? Like,
I do.
Like, we got it now. We got the Snyder Cut. It's good. We got a lot of stuff. There's like the black suits, Superman. There's a bunch of new stuff about Cyborg.
The other characters that we didn't see that were cut out.
Green Lantern stuff is going to get mentioned.
Maybe Supergirl. We don't know.
So it's a lot. I feel like you didn't need Leto.
And it feels like they're adding him like kind of after the fact.
Yeah.
Because maybe they're trying to dangle the carrot to have him back involved. So they're saying, well, we'll have you in this, and then we can kind of go in a different direction, because I think Jesse Eisenberg has kind of said that he's not going to be Lex Luthor going forward, that he's kind of out on that.
Makes sense.
So, and you know what? And I've mentioned this to you before, Jesse Eisenberg in the Justice League movie felt like he was the Joker trying to be Lex Luthor.
Right, for sure. Especially with all the like, you know.
And I think Eisenberg would have been a good Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had so many. I mean,
Right.
I'm over at this point. It means that though, but Leto being part of getting back to Snyder's cut, with Leto being part of the Snyder cut, it means that we're not getting a different version of Suicide Squad going forward.
No,
because this is their olive branch to kind of bring him back and get him back involved. And DC is going to have another Suicide Squad film
for sure.
And James Gunn is going to be doing this Peacemaker television series with John Cena on HBO Max going forward. So I don't think they're going to be revisiting another version of another movie that they did. It would sound kind of like just constantly trying to press the reset button.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to go back and do another version of the same
try this
movie again.
Right.
I don't think they want to do that again.
That makes sense.
What did you think about these? Well, the possible rumors now are about the Spider-Man, the third Spider-Man movie with all three Spider-Men
right,
possibly being involved and them introducing more multiverse. I really don't even know how to term it because
live action Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Sony is going to have their own Spider universe. There's rumors of a Sinister Six film. There's rumors of a Kraven the Hunter film.
Right. Morbius.
We know we've got the Morbius movie. That was another film that was supposed to come out this year that we didn't get.
I didn't even add that to the list.
You know, we didn't even put that in the list. I mean, they've got so much to do. This is Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield potentially, and then potentially Tobey Maguire, 3 different Spider-Men at 3 different stages of their lives.
I think it, like the Spider-Verse movie, it's going to be like maybe Tobey Maguire is chilling and he does not rock the mantle anymore, and he married MJ and he's living good, but maybe Holland finds him and needs some kind of advice for something, or the whole Jamie Foxx thing becoming energy and transferring over to a different universe. Maybe that ruined something in the gateway and there's going to be something. I don't know if we're going to get all 3 of them in the suit, but we might get all 3 of them like mentoring.
So this is my theory for it once they started talking about having these 3 guys involved. I think that they've got to avoid trying to make this movie funny.
Yeah.
They've got to stay away from that. And a lot of Tom Holland's quality about playing Spider-Man is he's like, oh gosh, oh golly, I don't know, geez, what am I supposed to be doing? I messed up and I ran into this thing over here and whatever. Like he's kind of clumsy or something.
Like maybe this should be
they've got to eliminate that.
Going into more of a serious Spider-Man. You are an Avenger. You are a hero. I mean, you're still the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but there's people out here trying to take what's yours.
Because you have to think, was it called Far From Home? Was with Mysterio? Okay. Yeah. Well, they were introducing Mysterio. He already kind of pulled some type of swerve on Tom Holland, you know, through the film.
And
spoiler alert if you haven't seen Far From Home. Sorry if you haven't seen Far From Home.
He fell for it right in the drop of the dime. Right. I mean, he set it up crazy. He had the whole bar set up, got the glasses.
Yes.
And come on, man. You got to be a little bit smarter than that.
So what I'm worried about is if they're going to involve these other actors that play Spider-Man, is it them all banding together to hold each other up, or does one of them become the villain of the story? Is there an actual evil Peter Parker from his universe? Does he become like jilted? Cool. Kind of like when Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3 is doing his dancing and whatever.
That's the evil Spider-Man.
That's the evil Spider-Man.
That
when
one
he was
dancing.
Infected by the symbiote. The evil Spider-Man is a dancing Spider-Man.
I hope they put a reference in if they put all 3 of them in the movie, they have to make.
They did it in the animated film.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, absolutely, they did. That was great.
That was awesome.
They have to make a reference to that scene. That was horrible.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, I don't know what you're doing. If you haven't seen it animated,
I think it's one of my favorite Spider-Man movies.
I love it.
You know?
It's so good.
Other than the first Tobey Maguire one that we were talking about earlier. My mom was upset about the rainy hard nips in the in the scene. My mom was really upset. I was so young.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, I was going to mention really quick. It's time for us to wrap things up. We're going to be closing up shop now. I wanted to talk to you really quickly about, again, elaborating a little bit on what Rob touched on in the beginning about the different books that you read.
Yeah.
Is there something that you're reading right now that stuck out to you? Ten of Swords is still going on. This wasn't, I'd say these two parts. I mean, we get Stasis next week.
It's going to be cool.
So we're assuming that it's going to go in we're going to get some division, I think. They'll have some stuff more mapped out. I really like the fact that they're doing all these chapters and kind of laying out and giving you background context.
Yeah.
And then they have all this the specs on the swords and stuff. What'd you think of Excalibur? Was
that's
the
what
first
we're talking about,
one
Excalibur. It was cool. I think it was one of the, when you're watching like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, like a series, and they have like those couple filler episodes. Where like, oh, nothing really went down, but they might have mentioned something that was important. I feel like that for me was this one. Sword of Might, awesome. Captain Britain stuff was really cool. Starlight Citadel stuff was really cool.
You're not a huge Captain Britain fan, though.
Not
really. I'm not either.
I was gonna say you have all the comics.
Yeah.
It was cool to kind of see the other sword get made, and they played the kind of insurgent job on Saturnine. I liked that we saw at the end it had everybody on their said swords, or excuse me, on their said like totem pole or whatever.
Yep.
We got 3 swords left to find, so things are wrapping up. It should start to get a little bit more intense. But yeah, I think as for homework wise, I'm keeping up, and that was kind of a one that I was like, man, it was all right.
Yeah.
A little filler.
I really enjoyed the art. I think I liked the art more than the actual story.
The art was really cool.
The story was just kind of there. It was, like you said, it was just kind of a filler. But meanwhile, with X-Men, at the end, they have Apocalypse getting the Scarab, and, he's kind of making commentary back and forth about the blade, and he says, it's going to cut real sharp.
Yeah.
Like, he's ready.
Yeah.
Like,
he knows something's about to go down. He's ready for it.
It's going down. It's going down. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the story. It just keeps getting better and better. One thing I wanted to mention for next week.
Yeah.
We have our live episode.
Yes.
It's our 11th episode, but it's our Halloween episode. We're going to have our buddy Donovan is going to be in studio with us.
Right.
We're going to have Rob on the line from an undisclosed location. We're going to have some guests and some call-ins. It's going to be a live show. Anything can happen with a live show.
It's going to be awesome.
Multiple mistakes and inappropriate references because it's a live show. You can call in on the live show, but we're looking forward to it. We're affectionately calling it Mandalorian Eve.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Star Wars themed show. We're going to rank the Star Wars films, all the Star Wars films, even Solo and Rogue One. We're going to rank them 1 through 11. We're going to rank them, and we're going to go over them next week.
Okay.
We're going to do that, and we're going to have Donovan. He's going to be ranking his Star Wars films 1 through 11, and then we'll go down our power rankings for the Star Wars films, and we'll harass each other that we didn't put whatever as number 1. I'm not giving away.
I was gonna say, what were you gonna say?
That's a tease. That's a tease. I'm not gonna tell you what I would have as the number 1 Star Wars film.
What's your least favorite then?
My least favorite was the last one.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
That's pretty up
there. A lot of people don't care for the prequels. I mean, Phantom Menace not my favorite movie.
Really? I really like the Phantom Menace.
But I was gonna say it's not your favorite movie, but then when you watch 2 and 3, you're like, But if you see Clone Wars, if you watch Clone Wars, it adds a bunch of stuff. It adds a bunch of context.
Right. You'll start liking the other part
2 and 3.
For real.
But guys, next week, live episode, we're gonna have giveaways.
Yep.
We're gonna have a costume or 2.
Yep.
I might just wear if the costume's too tight, it's only gonna be 1 costume. I'm not gonna be able to change. I might not be able to take it off for 3 or 4 days. That might be what I'm wearing for Halloween.
3 days afterwards.
Yeah, I have to have it cut off.
I'll help you, bud.
I appreciate that. It's good looking out. But guys, again, we appreciate it so much.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much for the love. It's been a long road here. We got to 10 episodes. It's fun. We got a lot coming more.
Yeah, we're excited. Guys, for Sonny, I'm Frank. We'll see you next week for the live episode.
Yeah. Wash your damn hands.
And read some comics.